Hello, we are back. Johnny Casting. Clyde closed his eyes. He could not bear to see the circle of prisoners up in the sky, knowing that Tsunami and Starflight were up there watching him die. He heard a faraway yell, and F. George's head jerked up. Clay opened his eyes again and saw that the Iceman was looking up at prisoners. So was everyone else in the stadium. He followed the gaze and saw a blue dragon far overhead, thrashing in the net of wires above the arena. The other prisoners were shouting and scrambling to hold on to their rock towers as the weight of the dragons threatened to drag them all down. It was Tsunami. She must have thrown herself off her prison cell, trying to get to Clay, but the wires held her fast, and she was fighting like an insect caught in a spiderweb. "Get up there!" Queen Scarlet roared, and all the Skywing guard around her and lifted off at once. This is my chance, Clay thought. F. George was distracted. Now he could kill him. He should. He had to. If he could have killed his nestmates in their eggs, he should be able to kill this dragon who had nothing to do with him. But he still couldn't. He kept thinking, F. George is as much as a prisoner as I am. Why should I get to live instead of him? This is why the prophecy is doomed because of me. So Clay was the only one looking at the ice dragon when a jet of small black droplets spattered against the side of F. George's face and neck. F. George flinched in surprise, automatically reached up with one talon to wipe his face clean. But before his claws reached his snout, both dragons heard a hissing noise. Clay stared in shock as the black drops started to bubble and smoke. The scales underneath them began to melt. Then F. George screamed. It was the worst sound Clay had ever heard. The dragon Peril had screamed in this kind of agony. But to be right underneath the dying dragon, his screams piercing Clay's ears was so much worse. One of the drops had landed in F. George's eye. That was the first thing to disintegrate, leaving a smoke black cavity in his skull. The side of his face slowly dropped away, like ice melting. F. George lurched off Clay, clawing at his own neck. The spray was eating into his open wound. Clay covered his eyes, feeling sick. Why couldn't death be clean, painless, and fast, if it all had to happen at all? It finally occurred to him to wonder who had sprayed the ice ring. It must have come from the direction of the Queen's balcony. He looked up and saw three faces up there staring down at him and F. George. The rest of the guards were up in the sky dealing with Tsunami and the other prisoners. Queen Scarlet who looked pleased, Glory who looked asleep, and Peril who looked frightened. After F. George finally died to the sounds of uproarious cheering, Clay was flown back to his tower and knocked down, added to Tsunami's cell, and the prisoners on either side of her kept shouting angry things about how she'd nearly killed them. But she waved her tail at Clay, and he felt a teeny bit better, though not much. He hadn't won fairly. He hadn't found the strength in him to kill. He hadn't even wanted F. George to die. Someone else had killed F. George for him. And yet there was a ball of wrenching guilt sitting in his stomach. Guilt about Sunny, wherever she was, about Starflight, who never survived the arena, and about Tsunami, who might, but only if she didn't get herself killed doing crazy things first. He couldn't eat the pig dropped off by the Skywing guard that afternoon. He just watched gloomily as it ran around his platform, squealing in terror until it blundered over the edge. Then he felt bad about that too. Feeling sorry for Prey, some hero dragon you are, Clay kept his back to the arena during the afternoon fight, which was between a Seawing and a scavenger Queen had found in the woods. The Queen had found in the woods. You'd thought queens would be more careful around scavengers after what happened to Oasis. But now that he saw how pathetic they were, he understood why Queen Sky didn't worry about them. The scavenger was allowed to keep his funny little weapons, but they didn't do much good. The fight was over quickly. Clay covered his ears so he wouldn't have to listen to the munching, crunching, and the cheering crowd. He slept a little that evening, but this was full of nightmares and dying dragons. It was almost a relief to wake up after dark and find Peril huddled in the same spot as before. Even the heat wafting from her scales was welcome, as the winds were stronger and colder than ever. "Oh, hi," she said in a rush. "You are amazing today, although I have no idea what you did. I was looking at the prisoners and then suddenly, oh yikes, that was scarier than me. I mean, I'm pretty scary, but wow, how did you do that? You don't have to tell me. I mean, you might have to do it to me." "You probably will," which is the scariest thing ever. It was like I never thought what it might be like sitting up here watching me kill other dragons. And then I'm the one watching and thinking, that's going to happen to me. But still amazing. Can you tell me? You don't have to tell me. Alright. See how much pages we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we can finish it. "Stop," Clay said, worn out with guilt and worry and peril. "It wasn't me. I didn't do that to F. George." She exhaled and a small burst of fire shot from her nose. It's all right, she said. I didn't think you'd tell me. I'd keep it a secret too. No, seriously, Clay said. I think it was Queen Scarlet. She wanted me to win. She must have done something while everyone else was distracted. Carol was skeptical. I've never seen her do anything like that before, she said. I guess, but I guess she might. She definitely doesn't have a problem with cheating. She spread her talons, opening and closing her claws, as if offering herself as an example. I guess she might have found the poison in our treasury somewhere. Have you seen my friend Sonny? Clay asked. He was starting to feel the pain of the scratches across his back and the bruises on his throat. Oh, yes, Pearl said. She looked at him sideways with the sly blue flame eyes. That's why I came. I'll tell you where she is, but I need to do something. But I need you to do something for me. And if you won't do it, I won't tell you. Clay tried to move his aching wings, but they felt still stiff and sore. He couldn't tell that dry blood was caked through his scales and the spiny ridge along his back. You don't have to do that, Pearl. I'd help you anyway. Sure, she said. Well, we'll see. It's not an easy thing, and you might get in trouble. I'd definitely get in trouble. If Her Majesty found out, she scratched at a rock underneath her. I don't mind, Clay said. I'm in enough trouble anyway. Is Sonny all right? Pearl scowled as she answered, Yes, she's fine. Not a scratch on her. Eating like a queen. Making friends with all the guards. It's a little nauseating. If you want to know the truth, that's Sonny, Clay said, exhaling with relief. What do you want me to do? She told me I wasn't allowed to watch. Pearl burst out. I'm the only dragon in the whole Sky Kingdom who's supposed to stay away from the arena tomorrow. It's not fair. Why? I said, some thinking. What new horrible battle did the Queen Scarlet have planned? What's happening? I don't even know. Pearl flared. Is it some kind of trial? Doesn't that sound boring? Why would she keep me away from that? I wouldn't have cared until she told me not to go. Listening to the dragons talk about the laws is about as exciting as picking sheep fluff out of your teeth. Plus, it always ends the same way anyhow. Queen Scarlet just likes the drama of trials and formal executions. Nobody's ever innocent. Kestrel, Clay said. It must be Kestrel's trial. Queen Scarlet said something about that. Well, whoever she is, I want to watch, Pearl said, stubbornly. So I thought maybe if I hide up here behind you. That's where we're gonna pause today. I'll see you later. Johnny out. Peace!